Diamond. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I'm excited to hear about what you guys have worked on. So did you bring any of the behavioral charts?
Yes.
Okay, let me see those.
So I brought a chart that shows you what nights I checked them off on my list, what nights we did each of the steps.
Okay, let me see that.
And then what nights, this one shows kind of what nights they worked. Like we didn't have fears on these nights.
Okay, so did you see a decrease?
Yeah.
In the nights? Okay.
Yes, we did. We did.
All right. So tell me, what's your overall thought process or feeling after using these coping skills?
I felt pretty good. I felt like each of them worked really well. She really seemed to like getting to spend that time kind of relaxing together, reading together. She really enjoyed that. And then the breathing before lights, we only used that a couple of nights, and on those nights it was actually over the weekend, and I think that was because our schedule was a little more hectic. So I think it worked better then.
Okay. So it sounds like you did a good job trying to be consistent and following the goals that we had established at our last visit.
Yes.
Okay. What are some things that were maybe a little bit challenging for you to incorporate these into your routine?
So on Friday night, we were only able to do the breathing, and that was a rougher night for us. I had a work function, and so I didn't get home until late, and she was already in bed and kind of already worked up and afraid. And so we just tried the breathing as opposed to reading first. I was tired and wanted to go to bed too, but I didn't get as frustrated. I realized I wasn't as frustrated, so that was good.
Well, I think that you've just really done a great job here identifying what maybe was the reason that Friday night was more challenging for you guys than the previous night. So good job.
Thanks.
That self-reflection, being able to look back and see why did this work one night and then why didn't it work another night, and being able to reflect on that. Is there anything that you would have liked to do differently?
I feel like the combination was good, the remaining calm and using the breathing together. And so there was only 2 nights that we were able to do both strategies together. But I felt like they worked really well together, and we got better sleep that night. Our bedtime was smoother. So I would probably change doing both strategies each night.
Okay, so you kind of have touched on this a bit already, but how do you think these changes, outside of helping your daughter with the fears, how do you think these changes are making her feel?
I think that she feels safe in her room again. That's the less fear, but also kind of more in control. The breathing seems to really kind of help her gain some control back, calm down, and feel like she can think through, there's not really monsters in my room. Yeah. She can think through the fear as opposed to just being terrified.
Yeah. Well, that's really quite amazing. Think about the skill or the tool that you just gave her, and she could use in other situations, not just with fears.
Yeah, that's true.
Being able to breathe and calm our insides and our feelings, and then being able to deal with those. So good job.
Thanks. The breathing was kind of difficult sometimes. Like I wasn't sure how to get her to do it, which is why we only did it the 3 nights. It seemed to work, but I didn't know if you had any suggestions on how to help us breathe better.
Well, yeah, but did you look on the fear sheet? What are they suggesting here?
So take slow, deep breaths like you're filling a balloon in your tummy.
Okay. So when we're working with children, it's really important to use language that they will understand or could relate to. So throwing in the idea of filling up a balloon, something that she can visually see, may help her act out those actions.
Okay, yeah, I was just telling her to take deep breaths. I didn't. Yeah, the balloon makes sense.
Do you want to practice?
Sure.
With me, I can
Sure.
pretend to be your daughter, and you can kind of walk me through
Sure.
breathing.
Sure.
Okay.
So, Amanda, I know you're afraid that there's monsters. Before we turn out the lights, let's take a few deep breaths. And so when we take deep breaths, we're going to pretend that we're filling up a balloon in our tummy. So we're going to breathe in and fill that balloon and then let it out. And you fill that balloon up again and then let it out. Yeah, talking about a balloon makes more sense. I can see that better.
Yeah, so we want to be able to create imagery for them so that they can see it, hear it, and even feel it.
Yeah.
And so that may be able to help you. And
Yeah.
if that's not something that you've done in the past, that may feel strange for her. But if it's fun for her, she might be more inclined to follow through with it. So, are there any other obstacles that you have discovered in being able to introduce these coping skills?
Yeah, so Monday night we weren't able to do either strategy, and that was because I had like a social function, and I was out late. She was with a babysitter, and so she was already asleep by the time I got home, but the babysitter said it was kind of a rough night to get her to fall asleep.
Is there anything that you could do in addition to what you already do to help plan for that?
Probably talking to my daughter about it beforehand, and then maybe asking the babysitter if she can try some of these things too.
Yeah.
So that it's consistent.
Yeah. And really, as parents, when we talk to other people, we can get new ideas because everybody has a different outlook on things, and they might have experienced something different. So your babysitter might be able to add something to that breathing techniques to help you guys out that you could adopt.
Sure.
Any other obstacles that that you're foreseeing or that you experienced last week?
No, I think it's just remembering to be consistent.
Right.
So I think that's it.
Okay. Do you have any questions about this? What's our goal going forward? Are we going to continue using these? And you had said you want to start using both of them and being consistent with that.
Yeah, I think that's my next goal, is just using them both and kind of tweaking that breathing just a little bit to include the balloon idea.
Okay.
But using them both each night, because that's when we saw the most success.
Okay. And I would recommend to still use the tracking sheets and the behavior chart, so then you can really celebrate with your daughter when she has had when you both have had a great night.
Okay.
And because that positive reinforcement, we all need it. And so continue with the tracking sheet, and then we can bring that back at our next visit. And when is a good time for you to meet next time?
I think I could do late next week.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Thanks, Amanda. So tell me what went well.
I think identifying things that went well and being able to kind of reflect on being able to give her the opportunity to look at, well, why didn't this go well? And what was causing that?
Okay, what else went well?
I think I did good praise.
Good praise? Good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you would have changed?
Maybe just honed in on implementation of how is she going to continue to do both of those coping strategies. And maybe I could have gone in more detail of how to help support or like pre-plan if she knows that she is a work event. How can she support her daughter and kind of get deeper into that and the people around her? Because she doesn't have to be the only one that does bedtime and use these coping skills.
Anything else?
I guess you asked me specifically for some ideas, and we really only talked about the balloon, but I didn't add anything additional to breathing because that's not my expertise. So
Okay. All right. Thank you.